Hello and welcome back to another replay with Bloosh and Reddit. This time, instead of driving T-49s around, we are actually in a Tier 10 stronghold. We're playing Citadel, I believe is their name. Our comp consists of a 113, 215B, 3 E5s, 2 Centurions, 3 Russian mediums, a TVP 5051, 2 183s, an E4, and a M5355. Their comp is actually semi-intelligent compared to ours. They have 450Bs, 5 E5s, 2 Batchats, 3 Russian mediums, and a Conqueror GC. We actually only have 1 autoloader on our team, so I'm pretty worried about those 50Bs. And you can actually see hear the live comms to this battle on Dwight's Twitch channel. But I do call out at the beginning that those need to be our focus targets for this game. To start off here, I'm going to take the Russian mediums with me up the 1 line. I'm having Dwight take the heavy tanks up into the center of the map there with all the TDs. And eventually I'm going to send a tank back towards our base to kind of keep an eye on it. I wanted Bryant to be back there, but Bryant wasn't on comms, so Bryant drove up to the center of the map. What we're doing here, we didn't see anything on the 1-2 line. We're pretty sure they're on the 9-0 line at this point. Doomer got wrecked from there, so we're going to push the mediums pretty aggressively up the 1-2 line here and try and put some pressure on these E5s. We haven't been spotted yet, so we're all looking to get down into the low ground and then really punish these guys. Dwight is going to make a very aggressive play in his Amorak 113 to come over here and help us out. Could have worked out better. DB Trump in his E5 is going to get punished not as much as I'd like when he's moving over there. We're going to pressure him pretty quickly because, as you can see, with him moving up to A4, A5, that means that he's going to be able to get shots into Dwight, whereas the other E5s have to poke up to get shots. So I'm going to start pushing up and putting pressure on him. He's actually going to put a shot into Dwight and track him, and then in a second here. So I'm still pushing up to try and save Dwight. He puts a shot in, tracks him, the CGC absolutely destroys Dwight. So that's the end of Dwight. We're on our own over here. DB goes down. And at this point I call for Ace to go chase the Artie. I'm going to distract the E5s. So Meme and I are charging in. Our goal here is to let Ace get that CGC out of this fight and start really pressuring the back. There's a 50B that comes back to try and keep us out of the fight. We're able to put in a couple shots and he starts clipping. So our next step is to just work these E5s, and Ace is going to be able to get in shots from the flank now. Although there's a 50B coming in, which is going to pretty quickly take most of his attention away from these E5s. I'm going to call out I have kill on this E5 and do it. And at this point, Meme and I are going to start pressuring this E5. Ace has 1,000 hit points right now, so that 50B needs to fire 2 shells before he can kill him. So that's 1. That's 2. And we immediately call out for Ace to go after that 50B. I'm just going to get into cover over here. The 50B takes me out, but it doesn't matter because the 50B is going to go down to Ace here. Meme does get to cover safely, so he's going to be able to work these guys off the back of the hill. And there's the Centurion in K3 that I called to move back there earlier. He's going to be able to get shots into the back of this E5 and 50B and anyone else on the back of that ridge, which really opens up this game for us. We've got a good lead at this point. It's still losable. But Gottfried is in a fantastic position to work this game. Our UMEDs are going to start moving through the town. relieve any pressure that's left on our base, and we do notice that there's a 140 that's moved up north. So we're going to move over to take him out. Another important thing that we did this game is moved our RD up to C1, and that's actually not something I called, that's just something that Dill made the decision as a player that he needed to be out of the base and knew that he could be safe up there. But that's extremely important when you're playing in Tier 10 and other tiers, but at Tier 10 especially, if your artillery goes down, it's a huge blow. And you really want to make sure that they're rotating away from threats. Otherwise, you might get killed by Ace and his 140 sweeping around the flank. So we're just going to clean this up here. It's been a pretty good game. GG to Citadel. Yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at the post-game stats here. As we can see, the two Centurion Action X's actually top the team. Centurion Action X isn't an amazing tank. I really like it. It's a pretty good one, but it's nothing particularly phenomenal. The reason that Gottfried in particular was able to do well is that they're positioned off in the flank as snipers, and that really shows you the value in both clan games and in pub matches of finding a nice flank where nobody's really willing to shoot at you and you can just let your DPM work. Getting to shoot for, even a minute straight in Tier 10 mediums is pretty much a guarantee to have a fantastic game. If you can find a position to just let that happen. It happens a lot more in clan games where you get to fire for that long in a concerted thing because there's more tanks closer together. But it also will occasionally happen in pub games, and if you can look for an opportunity to do that, it'll really improve your game. Following then is me and my 907. Aggressively again pushing around the flank gets me a lot of damage. Bryant and his 215B doing a great job. Both our 215Bs actually did pretty decently. Shakes actually manages to break 2,000 damage and get a kill, which is much better than Shakes normally does, in these replays at least. The other two Russian mediums are right in between the 215Bs, again out on the flank doing a pretty good job. The RD didn't do so great, and neither did most of our heavies, but they did provide the crucial role of sitting there and getting shot up while our mediums farmed them. Their team kind of got wrecked. They had 162A that did pretty well. Everybody else kind of really didn't meet the mark. Their RD wasn't that effective either. Redshire is usually a pretty RD heavy map, but in this game it ended quickly enough that it didn't really have a big effect on the game. So I hope you like this replay. Check me out, come back. There will be more to come hopefully. See you next time.